It is one of Savannah's best kept dining secrets, the kind of place where you don't know unless you know. A lot of people do, but not nearly as many as you would think. The word got out about this steakhouse last year. On any given night, they have a full house, but the guy in charge, Chris, he'll tell you it's pretty much a neighborhood joint, hardly a tourist in sight, which is saying something on a spot that is this popular.
Very little, if any, and they have found us. We have a few concierges downtown that have found us and have sent us people. And I don't mean this to sound like a slight, but we don't cater to the tourists, we cater to the locals. That's what we're out here for. If we're fortunate enough to grab part of that, then great. But that's not what we're actually in it for. And, I would say it's probably 98 to 99% local.
The place we're talking about is the Steakhouse on Whitemarsh, a no-frills, old-school restaurant at the end of a strip mall serving up, yes, some of the best steaks in Savannah. Well, let's start at the beginning. Chris McGary is a career restaurant guy, originally from Cleveland, decided to move down here back in 2008. You see, he already knew about this place.
Well, back in the 70s, I lived in Atlanta, and we found Tybee. And back then, you didn't spend a lot of time in Savannah, but you drove straight to Tybee because it was a great place to be.
So they came back, and Chris landed at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. That's where I met him almost a decade ago. And then that's where all of this happened.
I got a phone call from a gentleman who was actually a guest of mine at Ruth's. I met him there. He was working for Walter Carson at the time. And out of the blue, he called me and said he bought a bar and didn't know what he was doing. And I said, no kidding.
Eventually, he bought that owner out and decided to make a go of ownership himself. It was his 6th restaurant. First, though, in about 20 years.
We sold our last one in '99. That was at a ski resort in southern Utah. And we both swore we'd never do it again. And when the opportunity came, it was just the right opportunity, the right time, the right location. I mean, we live right around the corner. We know everybody on the islands. We've got a lot of friends out here. And it was just a good fit all the way around.
Luckily for us, this good fit is right down the street from most of us in Savannah, and they all come in search of one thing, a well-prepared steak. And this crew knows how to do it well.
Keep it simple, stupid. We don't do anything outlandish, no foo-foo. It's strictly, we're a steakhouse. We do great steak at a great price. You know, we do everything inclusive to it, as opposed to some of our competitors who will charge you an exorbitant amount of money for a bowl of mashed potatoes, and we just include it.
That's all he had to say to get the locals to respond. The value in here is maybe the best in the city. Ribeyes, filets, or their signature Tomahawk, which we'll get to in a minute. But back to that value. Around here, it's almost an obsession, because Chris believes you really struggle to find that elsewhere in Savannah.
100%. 100% across the board. Value for your dollar just is not out there. You know, if you can charge $50 for a piece of meat that you should only be charged $25 for and get it, then, you know, more power to you. I don't think it's right, but, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is, and he doesn't worry too much about what's going on out there because he has his hands full in here with about as much as he can handle. Every night of the week that they're open, they are full or near full, especially on the weekends when you'll find live music. Now you gotta be wondering what the catch is here, right? There isn't one. I've eaten here a couple of times and it is great if you go in knowing that the menu is small and you'll only have a couple of choices for steaks. Filets and ribeyes are the most popular, but this guy gets everyone's attention whenever they come out. A tomahawk ribeye for $2, sliced tableside and served with vegetables, all included in one price. Those vegetables, they are limited as well. On any given night, there are 2 potatoes, garlic mashed and roasted, and 1 vegetable. The night we were there, it was corn. That's it. No other choices for sides. From the looks of the smiles out here, it doesn't much matter either because the main thing are the steaks. And they're doing those well.
Simplicity again. Salt, pepper, put it on the grill and leave it alone. Don't mess with it. Watch it work. Do your crosses. Flip it over and sell it. It's a real easy process, but people want to complicate it with all this stuff.
No lying there, a great steak isn't difficult at all. I was in the kitchen watching these guys do their thing, and it's like a well-oiled machine. The grill gets up to about 1100 degrees sometimes, and it creates the kind of crust required for the best type of steak experience. Locked in juices, drizzle a little butter over it before it goes out, and you are done. There are scallops as an app, pasta and shrimp as well, but the best app I've had here was their bruschetta, served with, of course, tiny slices of filet. Delicious, and most importantly, simple.
But again, we've been very fortunate. Our clienteles have followed us around town, and they've been very loyal to us, and they've followed us here. We've been able to create a lot of new clientele as well, and you know, it's just we're very fortunate.
So are we. You can spend a lot more money out there on a great steak and a far more luxurious dining experience, or you can try this spot out for something different. The kind of place where you'll walk through the doorway and immediately feel like you stepped back into 1981. And they love it that way. Doesn't really matter anyway. The food is good, the staff is friendly, and you're just hanging out in the neighborhood to eat it and like it.